Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Rye on Listen Up. Rye, I will see you later on today, I guess, for the Big East recap. That is Big East, and I believe what it was announced earlier today that they will play Providence.
Yeah, Providence beat Butler earlier today. So yeah, UConn postseason starts in less than 12 hours now.
Well, hopefully it's a win, a win, and a win, and a win on down the line because today we received some. I mean, we kind of saw it coming. Today we received some very sad news. She definitely left her mark on UConn forever. The assist machine, right? The assist machine. Man, Ryan, I will let you take this over and you handle it in your own hands. For goodness sake, your favorite player, one of the best on this roster for so long. And I know you told me, earlier today, UConn's Nika Muhl announces that she will not return next season. And Ryan, what's interesting is I know it won't make you smile because you love your Dallas Wings, but I did check at least one mock draft. Of course, that's why they call them mock drafts. But it's interesting because they have Nika Muhl, one mock draft I checked, being drafted by the Washington Mystics. So just right down the road from us. So if that's the case, maybe you'll smile a little bit because all you have to do is drive about an hour to see your favorite soon to be former UConn Husky.
Well, as long as Nika gets drafted, I don't really care what team she goes to. I think it'd be great if Nika does get drafted. But yeah, of course, the news coming just a day away from UConn's postseason beginning. It's definitely sad news, of course, and Nika Muhl will be missed by all of UConn Nation. But I think it's news like you said that we kind of did expect. I'm also kind of expecting Aaliyah Edwards to
Yeah.
not return and also declare for the WNBA draft. Kind of expecting Aaliyah to be a top five pick if she does indeed declare
Mhm.
for the draft. But Nika has had quite the career for UConn. It took a year for her to really get acclimated to the team, but from her sophomore year until now, she's really turned into one of the best point guards that UConn has really ever seen. We always talk about how she does everything defensively, setting the tone every single night. She's won Big East Player of the Year, Big East Defensive Player of the Year, excuse me, twice now. And not to mention how effortlessly she makes her passes look, all the assists that she racks up, setting up her teammates all the time. And listen to these stats and records she will leave UConn with. Nika has the program's best assists per game average. Single game record for most assists was 15, and single season assist record, which she just set last season. And on top of that, she's less than 30 assists away from becoming the leader in all time career assists for UConn. So it really has been quite the career for Nika Muhl, and I will definitely miss seeing her play in a UConn uniform every single night.
Yeah, I'll miss her for sure as well. And following this team for so long now, you and I, it's been a blessing. I keep saying that to you and everyone else. But at the very least, to say the least, before we get into some comments, Nika Muhl, I know you and everyone else is going to think, why is Phil always referring to the Ravens? Or no, it's weird, it's wild, right? You're talking about football and baseball, not baseball, football and basketball. Nika Muhl reminds me, Ryan, of that mentality, that focus of the game, that elite defender that gets in your face and steals the ball away. But to sum it all up, she reminds me of a Ray Lewis kind of athlete, where just specifically talking about you see Nika Muhl out on the court, and I know darn well you know what I'm talking about. You see her out on the court, and it's like us even being guys. I mean, not that that has anything to do with it, but we don't. I don't know about you. I don't want any part of Nika Muhl when she's playing basketball, right? But and you told me one time we were down there, I guess we were going to see Georgetown, and you're like, someone told me they're like, man, look, I mean, just like Ray Lewis again, just like a soft teddy bear, if you will, like off off of the court or off of the field. It's like two different people, but the same person. And the reason I bring that up to you is because again, her passion for the game, the drive that she had all these years at UConn. There and not, I'm not saying anything else. You don't, I mean, KK Arnold is her own personality, but tell me if you really, really see, and I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying that's the way it is. Tell me if there's any other lady down this roster that has that. I mean, that's the kind of intimidation that I get off of Nika Muhl. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't want to even get near her while the game of basketball is being played.
No, I for sure don't wouldn't want to be guarded by Nika Muhl or be anywhere close to her. Definitely not playing against her while playing basketball. That's for sure. And I think that's definitely something that she's kind of grown into. Just the role that she has on this team. I always say she's the heart and soul, but yeah, just bringing that intimidating factor to onto the opposing team,
Yeah.
just always having that physical aspect to her game, that defensive mentality that she always has, always trying to steal the ball away, making it harder for the opposing team's best scorer to always score, it seems like. So yeah, she definitely does the most defensively, setting up her teammates. Definitely the kind of role model player that you really want out of a point guard position. So yeah, Nika Muhl has had quite the career for UConn.
And Ryan, she's done everything that Gino has asked out of her and even more, right? Because Gino asked her, if you remember, like the point guard, Nika Muhl took over for Beckers as UConn's starting point guard. If you remember that during her junior year, remember 22 and 23, when Beckers was out with the ACL injury. And then Muhl also started in place for Beckers 19 games in the 21-22 season after playing as Becker's backup, and credit CT Insider for that information. Um, so again, you had Paige Becker step up out on the bright stage, NCAA basketball, but I don't want to really remember, and I'm sure you don't or anybody else. I don't want to remember how well Muhl backed up Beckers or Muhl stepped up when Beckers was out. No, because man, Muhl at the end of the day is somebody that, and again, whichever team drafts her, WNBA team, oh my goodness, especially on the defensive side of the ball, boy, are they going to be getting a steal.
Yeah, and it never really has been the points, for Nika that really makes
Mm-hmm.
her a special player. It really has always been the defense, and we always talk about how you don't always need to score, 20, 25 points per game every single night to make a difference. And Nika Muhl really has proved that throughout her whole entire career. Just, one of the many reasons why or why she's such a great basketball player.
All right, here we go. Let's start out with Bill Nichols. He said, be candid. DeBerry's absence has no negative impact whatsoever. But you like her? Are you on drugs? Okay, well, I didn't know that was a rule, Ryan. You're not allowed to like athletes that have zero impact on the game. Come on, man. Let's get real. I mean, this is a human being. Again, do I have to go back to that AZ Fudd episode? This is someone's daughter that we're talking about. This is someone's niece. This is someone's friend. This is not just an athlete. Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that was about Amari DeBerry, right?
Yeah, Amari DeBerry, and but getting back down, more or less breaking it down like you do into a sports general topic here, like DeBerry's absence, her absence has no negative impact whatsoever. Well, Ryan, I mean, goodness gracious, you could turn that around quickly, right? I mean, I think it does. What if DeBerry developed just better than anybody else in the whole NCAA and the whole nation? I mean, you're sitting here telling me right now, if she was one of the top players in the whole country, that she still would not have an impact going into the tournament?
Yeah, and Gino said earlier today, I don't think he has an update on DeBerry's situation with her concussion, which is unfortunate. So not sure if she'll be able to play tomorrow or for the Big East tournament, but hopefully she'll be available sometime during this postseason run that UConn hopefully goes on a long run. But like we keep saying, or I keep saying, it's definitely an unfortunate situation. I don't think we'll ever really be able to figure out the whole situation, but I think there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, obviously, that doesn't get brought up or talked about in the media and all that stuff. But hopefully at some point, kind of running out of time, I guess, for Amari's career here at UConn, but hopefully, next season she'll be able to see some sort of increase in minutes and work on some more stuff during the off season, and get the opportunity that I think she deserves.
Dave said NCAAs will be a good learning experience for the younger players and make them stronger for next year when UConn makes a run for another championship. Deep run in tourney this year equals highly unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a huge, experience thing for the freshmen. And hopefully Nika, she's also a great leader. So I kind of expect her to, lead the freshmen out there along with Paige Beckers, along with Aaliyah Edwards for the seniors on this team to kind of lead the freshmen and help them out through this postseason, of course, like they have the whole entire season. But it is also going to be interesting to see who kind of take over Nika's spot as the point guard. Of course, we have Paige, but kind of how KK and Ashlyn are going to develop into the starting lineup. Now, of course, we have learned that Nika isn't going to be with us next season.
Kelly Lott said, Phil, once again, you're great, but for the love of Jonathan, the Husky, stop circling the airport and land the damn plane. Laugh out loud. Your questions and takes are 75% of the video. Laugh out loud. All in fun, Phil. Well, yeah, I love you, brother. Hey, actually practice in the mirror by myself the other morning, Ryan. I didn't tell you after I got out of the shower. Held the comb to my mouth right above, even though I have a mustache coming in now, like a mustache, like Jim Carrey, huh? And just talked in the mirror just for Telly Lot, right? Practice right in the mirror and shorten my question. So hopefully this episode is a lot better, right? Zip it up.
Well, I think, I think, I personally love,
You're almost
uh,
left. You're almost left with nothing. I'm sorry, Ryan. I didn't mean to make you speechless.
yeah, no, yeah, I really don't know what to say about that. But no, of course, I love all of your takes and being able to go back and forth, of course, is always fun, no matter what we're talking about.
All right, one more. How about this one? This is interesting. Bill Finn. Ice is the key. She has to play early and often. Go UConn basketball. But I said that in I very briefly. I go from one thing to another. I jump right. Telly Lot. I mean, I'm sure he can back me up on this too. I jump from one subject to the next or topic. I think that I did briefly mention Ice Brady in one of the last episodes when we were talking about the keys. What was it? What was the episode we had? Like the 5 keys or the keys to success in the tourney in the
Yeah,
tournament. And
yeah.
I said Ice Brady. I mean, I didn't say her name on accident, Ryan.
Yeah, Ice has played, in an interesting role, I think, throughout the season, backing up Aaliyah Edwards. She's definitely had some sparks during the season, some off games as well, and of course, this is her first freshman season. Unfortunately, got injured her actual freshman season, but I think she's done a pretty solid job off the bench, considering everything. So hopefully she can kind of develop during the postseason and have a couple good games off the bench. UConn could definitely use her impact off the bench. That's for sure.
All right, Ryan. It is time to say, well, not goodbye yet to Nika Muhl. We still have the NCAA tournament coming up, and we hope for our sake that she goes out on top, huh? It's time to say goodbye, but I think goodbyes are sad, and I'd much rather say hello to a new adventure. And that's what your favorite player, Ryan, that's what she's going to do. She's going to say hello to a new adventure, but I'm sure she's that type of player and that very well special person to always come back and visit UConn, maybe sit courtside for some more games. I'm sure this is a farewell, but not a goodbye. I'm sure that we'll see her a lot around the community and along with all the fans. So for now, Ryan, we still get to say who plays basketball. Nika does, right, Ryan? I will see you later this evening. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.